days don't seem so wet. Stormy nights don't stay.
Okay, it looks like I'm not going to have any sound there. Okay. Well, I'm sorry I was late. I sat down in the recliner and fell plumb off to sleep. I'm sorry. Okay, I hope you can hear me. So, okay. Let's do my fair use disclaimer. Alright, because I'm not stealing anybody's information. So, okay. So, turn this off. Okay, so I showed you yesterday the 292 channels that were showing that had Chris Pratt that on having done interviews or that showed interviews of Chris Proudfoot on them. So I was going through those and trying to determine which ones were Green Team and which ones were BlueBirds. I looked at all of these. Well, you can't see. I looked at all of these. And all of these. Some of them I just can't decide whether they're BlueBirds or they're Green Team. So I'm gonna play, and they're not very long videos, like 19, 20 minutes, for the longest, I think. So um let me turn on some music here. I can't hear. I wonder if I got my speakers plugged in the wrong spot. Because it's just a recent thing. Let me look. I'm not really tall enough. Way back there. Okay. I don't know what happened. What did you do to my camera? Whoa, is that messed up? Why does it look like it's this? Crooked. Better? I don't know. That's really weird. I don't know what's going on. Apparently, I didn't plug something in right. This has only been since I put the new monitors up. And I could hear earlier, I just can't hear on StreamYard. Oh well. Let's go ahead and all right. Now this one, you won't be able to see the person talking, and it's not Cluminati, I promise you. This is from, who was it? Shelby Ray. And let me see, what did I decide about her? I decided I think she's green team, but she has an excellent message. So I decided I want to go ahead and go with listening to what she has to say.
Things going on in the background. You're going to hear me doing things while I am recording this. Okay? So, there's something that I want to bring to your attention. And what I want to bring to your attention is this clip. And it comes from Chronicles of the Shady. And she has it titled, J is for Justice talks Gray Hughes, also Cluminati collecting money again for billboards. Okay? And I'd encourage you to get down there in the comments and hear what other people think about this latest scam, is what I'm going to call it. That's the point why I've come on to do this. Listen, I've been around for a long time. And what I see on this platform over and over and over again is a pattern of scamming people for quick cash, right? People are greedy. They want more than what they can get from a Cash App donation or Venmo or PayPal or ad revenue or super chat or whatever. You know, they want that quick, fast money. So I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. This presents as a scam, and I want you to be real careful because a lot of people unsubbed just to Clue, but many of those people that did unsub look like they have a good portion of them have resubbed. I think she may be 100 or so subscribers less than what she was when people unsubbed her, and I'm talking about Plumati. And but she did get off some people's radar, I feel, if you haven't been following her and her narrative. So I was watching Elevated Truth, and he collabs with Plumati. And I feel like, I think it was yesterday when I heard it. I'm not sure when I listened to it. And what I want to caution you about is, let's look at her history, where she comes online, Plumati, and she says that she has got money and she's wealthy, and her fiance has a great job and he's wealthy, right? Everybody's wealthy, amongst other things, but that's something she puts a big emphasis on, is her personal net worth, right? Which he works, they're not married, and you know, I've got thoughts on that, but that's not what this upload is about. But that's something that she's been grooming you, you know, priming. The word priming, you know, like if you work out in your yard, if you actually do your own work and stuff like that, sometimes you have to prime the motor to get it to start. Sometimes you have to prime your weed eater to get it to start, okay? Well, that's what I mean by priming. She's priming her audience, her listeners, okay? And now, listen. Most people are generous by nature. Most people are good-hearted. I want to believe that. And we hear all this awful stuff in our world today. But when I see people getting scammed over and over and over and over online, and they're targeting a specific audience, which is older ladies. Older ladies that maybe their family has forgotten about them. They're shut-ins, and they want to belong to something, right? They want to connect with others. The elderly have always been a vulnerable population. Even laws in all 50 states recognize that. As you get older, people prey upon you. And one of the ways that they prey upon the elderly is through finances. And as much attention as this case has, it is being primed for a scam. You remember the Summer Wells scam, where there was no transparency? You cannot say it was not a scam with all of the fallout from it. And there's not an exact account of how much money was raised in her name. And you have the same thing going on with Sebastian Rogers. And you have them launching their campaign yesterday, and that's what they did, as if she is the one for you to donate to. She's not the one for you to donate to, okay? Her channel has over 10,000 subscribers. And she can do fundraisers through YouTube. Okay, people will say, well, they get this, they get that. No. You don't know how much these people who are not transparent are taking off the top. You can also handle fundraisers through a bank. And what I would suggest now, what was mentioned on her live stream.
Okay, you see what she's talking about? This Miss Shelby person is disgusting. Now, see, I never heard, I don't listen to Illuminati for one thing. So I never heard her talk about her finances being exceptionally well or Beyonce's finances being exceptionally well. Because if looks, the way a person looks could express I guess Sam Walton didn't look like he had a lot of money, but he was one of the richest guys on the planet when he passed away. So I don't know. I'm going to skip forward a little ways to the next, see what else she's got to say.
More engaging than conflict online. You get to pick a side, and most people do, even though people share subscribers, many do. And then you have all this bashing for cash. Okay? And I think it's really important for the new people coming in every day, that you are aware of what goes on this platform. And I can't sign off on anybody. Okay? There's nobody on here that I can direct you to on the platform that isn't messy. I wouldn't recommend to anybody. Okay? That's your history. If you want to go history toe to toe, I'm here to do that. Okay? I can't. So be very careful when you're giving money, especially in these situations, because there's a reason why they only promote one child, and it's to grift. Okay? There are no new updates. And if they really cared about advocating for missing children, they wouldn't stay on one missing person. We even have Seth Rogers. He's grifting. Okay? His history is he was a stay-at-home dad. Katie went to work. He presents as somebody that isn't really that ambitious. Okay? He likes to eat. Okay? It's the parent who eats first in his house. He likes to eat. And,
well, I thought she was green tea.
He should be back to work. He should be taking care of his business, okay? But to put this responsibility on the world, it's not the world's responsibility. You know, you can say, you know, I can empathize with what you're going through. However, you know, that's where it starts and stops. That's where your unhealthy boundaries come in, where people try to make you feel guilty, you know, whether you are doing well or they don't know how you're doing. Okay? So, you know, you have to do with what you have. And to go around shaking some sort of a rattle can and expecting other people to take care of your problems is not the way to go about handling your problems. Okay? So, you know, we've got this Tony Mathis, we've got Bullhorn Betty, we've got Seth, and then...
Just for the record, I don't agree with what she just said. I don't think Seth Rogers is in any way grifting off of Sebastian. Seth Rogers has gone back to work to the best of my knowledge. And this was 7 months ago. And 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so that was 7 months ago. So that would have been 6 or 7 months into the, since Sebastian went missing. That was about the time Seth had shoulder surgery, wasn't it? He'd have been off work regardless whether Sebastian was missing or not. He would have been off work because he had to have shoulder surgery. So, I don't think Seth has in any way been grifting from anybody. To the best of my knowledge, when he had a relative, a sister or something, that put up a GoFundMe for him, I do believe he asked that they take it down because he didn't want it to look like he was trying to profit off of Sebastian being missing. But you got to realize, in my opinion, Seth is the only one that has been out looking for Sebastian. Now, I know there's been other content creators and law enforcement and all that have been out there looking. Don't get me wrong. But I don't see the Proudfoot having been out looking. But Seth has. If people have chosen to give to Seth to help him to be able to maintain his lifestyle while he was searching for his son, I don't see anything wrong with that. I do not call that grifting. I call that caring. And that's what we're raised to do as human beings. We should all be raised to care. And I'm sorry, if it's a person that's standing out on the side of the highway with a bucket or a sign that says, "My child is missing, please help me find him. Any donation will help." That's grifting. You know, I've seen people on the side of the road. My children are home sick. My children are home hungry. I've got 5 children and they're home hungry. And I'm standing here on the side of the road begging you for money when I could go out and get a job. See, those are the people that are grifting, in my opinion. They should be out looking for work. Now, some people are so picky, they're like, "I'm 50 years old, I shouldn't have to work at McDonald's." You know what? That burger you might flip tomorrow will earn you a whole lot more money than you made today, not being employed. That's my opinion. I don't think Seth is grifting. I don't think he ever did grift.
They are for sure here for the grift. That Seth is got an alibi. You don't know whether he has an alibi or not. Until I hear law enforcement say, "You know what? We've cleared him. We can verify
Wow.
that he's..."
Seth's boss came on somebody's panel, I don't remember whose panel it was, and stated that Seth does work for the sheriff's department. He is a sheriff's deputy, and said that Seth was on duty. Seth showed his time card. He's on video at where he works because he was on camera for 13 hours from 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. He was on video. Seth has a stand-proof alibi. I don't know. I'm starting to think this lady might not be, because I didn't listen to all of it. Sorry, I can't see now. I've got a black curtain in front of me, but the sun's not shining right in my face. Yay! Because I turned my room around. I actually just moved my desk and traded it in place of that brown table. Can you see it? Over here. Oh, that's my computer. Right there. It's got all those little stuffs on it. I put it there. That's an incense burning. I'm sorry. My room's not on fire and I don't smoke. See, I'm burning incense. Because zero nicotine. That's all I do. Zero nicotine. And anyway, so I thought she had a good message.
Advantage of other resources, but he's not specific about those resources. Okay? But Seth looks out for number one. Remember, he likes to eat first. And so be very, very careful when you are making these donations to come out and say, oh, well, I just got a donation, Klumati saying this, from Chris Proudfoot. And, oh my gosh, it was for $1,000. That was done to gas up the audience, anybody listening. It's just like, you know, here's our first donation, and here you go. What I don't understand is why Chris and Katie, if this is what they're doing, and Chris says that he wants to vet everybody, just doesn't go to a local financial institution, possibly the one he uses, and set up an account for Sebastian and put that money in escrow. And if he's not found after a specific amount of time, state where that money will go. You know, if there's anything left, or if it is going for billboards or whatever. Or just an independent person. But it needs to go through somebody where there's complete transparency, lying to a YouTuber that they really don't know. And if they do know this YouTuber well enough to do that, then we need to know that as well. This whole thing has so many different twists and turns. So I want to be real careful. I'm washing dishes and cooking and doing all kinds of things right now. I think the financial institution should collect the money like Civis Bank, and somebody should set that account.
Sorry, I'm done listening to her. I had it playing while I was rearranging my room. So I was only like half listening. And I thought in the beginning, she had a good message. But there in the middle, this lady flipped. I thought she was against the BlueBirds because Klumati, or Klumati as she calls her, was talking about how financially well off her and fiance are, and how they are collecting money for billboards or blip boards or whatever. I don't know what a blip board is. I'm sorry. I'm old. I never. To me, a billboard is a big old board on the side. Oh, I can't do that. On the side of the highway that interrupts people that are driving. Because to focus on a billboard long enough to read the whole billboard, you could cause an accident. So, and this next one, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Because I don't know if my music is playing in the background here. Because I can't hear the background music. And she plays music that I don't have copyright to. I know where she got it, but I can't attach the copyright here. I'm going to give her credit. Who was that last one we just listened to? That was she'll be right. I'm gonna say she's a bluebird. Okay, this one is Miss Harmony. I can't decide if she's green or blue. Let's pull this up. Oh yeah, let me do this. Credit. Please don't copyright strike me. It said investigative reporting since 2018. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable. Real life, real something. Stories of missing children, murders, tragic death, truth and facts, domestic violence abuse advocacy, body language analysis. You will gain insight, you will gain knowledge. Disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing non-profit education. Now, I am not in any way trying to steal from anybody. I'm giving full credit where credit is due. I'm not responsible for the music in her background. Okay, it says, on May 23rd, 2024, Chris and Katie Proudfoot went on Queen Bee's panel and shared things about their son, Sebastian Rogers. This is the summary of what they spoke of. To listen to it, link will be in the description. Queen Bee in something with Chris and Katie notes Chris calls in at 1:22:00. Chris says Ellie came to Terry Lynn and looked at the pants she found, and it's apparently nothing. Chris said there's a lot of folks pulling back. They said it was mentally taxing. Chris said there's a lot of negativity out there, drama and bashing. It should all go back to the sole purpose of bringing their son home. Chris says Katie, him, and Seth are living this every single day. He says it comes to a point where there's no evidence to support foul play. Everyone's been cooperative. Chris keeps saying that. He keeps saying everyone's cooperative. We've cooperated. You can cooperate all you want and still be guilty as to sin. I'm telling you. There's plenty of people. No offense to anybody. I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes. But I've witnessed it my own self. Plenty of people that walk inside their church every Sunday morning knowing full well that when they walk out of that church Sunday afternoon, they're heading straight to whatever it is that caused them. We're all sinners saved by the grace of God. That's what I'm going to say. We are all sinners saved by the grace of God. I'm not going to point fingers at nobody. Everyone's been cooperative, so why can't it get to a point where they come out and say the parents are in the clear? He says there should be some type of legislation that has LE clear the parents after they've been checked out. Now, they cannot clear the parents until after Sebastian is found. And all of if there needs to be a trial or a court case or whatever. Because if they clear the parents and then it comes back that Sebastian has been unalived in some way, then they're going to have to go back and make the parents be guilty. And they can't say, you cleared us, so how are you coming back now and saying that we're guilty? See, that's why they don't clear anybody until the case is solved. They cannot clear anybody until the case is solved. Chris says if you sit back and look at some of the things he has gotten mad off at times, and he said he shouldn't have been as aggressive as he respects that, but at the same time he's a person just like his wife and Seth, and every day I'd a struggle when you wake up. It's a struggle when you wake up until people go through something of this magnitude. They won't understand. I hope nobody ever has to go through something of this magnitude again. Chris said going in public right now is sketchy at best because people stare at you and don't want to be around you. Well, I wonder why. Chris said they could be in the same pool at Summer Wells. Chris said, well, shoot. Chris said a first impression is a lasting one, and he knows he might have not made the best one. Chris said he didn't say he wasn't upset at Seth, but he's not bashing him. He said when they have a conversation, they'll have to air out some indifferences. Because Seth wants his son found, and Chris don't want Seth to find his son. That's not an indifference. That's a total difference. Seth is a good man, and in my opinion, Chris Proudfoot wants to dominate and tell Seth how to be a father. So he has... No, I'm not going to say anything. Chris says Katie probably won't sit down with Seth anytime soon and talk. Chris says Dolly flew a drone over his house, and he's glad it happened when he wasn't home because he would have been irate with him. Chris says it is, but it isn't stalking when people follow them around and take pictures of their house. He said he doesn't like it, but he says it's still keeping Sebastian in the forefront. Chris says he doesn't want this to become a cold case or another case to come up and everybody stop talking about Sebastian. Chris said if you want to come after him, do it, but leave everyone else alone. Chris says at the end of the day, Chris and Katie know the truth. Seth knows the truth and law enforcement knows the truth. Chris said they've reached out to truck stops like Love's, for example, to put flyers out, but keeping putting them up. Chris thinks car magnets would be something. Chris said he wants the help of everybody to form an event for awareness of missing children in general, not just Sebastian, and maybe put billboards up all over the U.S. of different faces, multiple children, and put, "Have you seen me?" He talked about Summer Wells a bit. When asked how Katie feels, you hear her speak in the background, and Chris says, like she said, like crap. The host asks what they can do to help other than keeping his face out there and touching on his stats. Chris said he could add to it. He'd say everyone should post a flyer and putting his face on signs and radio stations. He says connecting with others, getting them involved is the biggest thing out there. Katie says wherever you are across the country, she says if you're out and about and you have flyers, keep asking businesses to spread them because some chains spread them to other stores. I don't know. Katie's voice broke off, sounded emotional. The host says, when her brother and sister passed away, her husband took over. And when his mom passed away, she took over. And if it's normal for Chris to take over and take care of his wife like any other husband would do, like a gentleman, Chris says he tries, but he's not the greatest person in the china shop. Well, I agree with that. I think that's the first true statement that man has ever made. Whoa! Chalk one up for Chris. Katie says, I want an answer more than all of you combined, I promise. She already has the answer, in my opinion. She was the one in the house that night. In my opinion, she knows what happened more than what she's saying. Katie says she hopes YouTube is going to work and find Bubba. Katie says he thought he was the funniest person on planet Earth. He bent over laughing because he thought he was so funny talking about the green tea video. Katie says Sebastian would drop one-liners. She would be like, did you just verbally kiss my booty? Katie says Sebastian, or kick my booty. Katie said Sebastian has that teenage attitude, so he's all over the place. 1 minute he's laughing and happy, and then a couple minutes later he's like, I'm going to. My room, upset. Katie says Sebastian is still young mentally and likes to play Marble Run and says everyone knows his favorite video game, Minecraft, but he also likes the Mario games. She said he gets serious when they bring out the little racing wheel for the Switch, and he beats Katie half the time. Katie says they took him on a game show experience because he watched Wheel of Fortune, Family Feud, Twist Your Luck with the whammies, and he will say, no whammies. Sebastian's favorite color is green. Katie says Sebastian's favorite class was math. Chris said PE, and then both agree. Sometimes it depends on what he got to do that day. Sebastian likes the plain steamed tofu, no sauce, and sushi is his favorite. Chris said Sebastian got turned on tofu in California at a pho or Thai restaurant. Katie and him had ordered curry, but Sebastian doesn't like spicy stuff. Well, on the menu, it was mainly spicy things, but there was tofu, so they brought out two different kinds, steamed and fried. He didn't like the fried, but he said he couldn't get it in his mouth fast enough. And ever since then, he's been on tofu. Katie says he loved fish. If you offer him fish or steak, it's fish every time. Katie says he eats pretty healthy. He likes Brussels sprouts. He'd even eat them raw. Zucchini, bell peppers. Katie said his favorite junk food is Nutella chocolate malt, extra malt. Chris says anything chocolate. Katie said he stopped buying Nesquik because Sebastian wouldn't stop eating it with the spoon, no milk. Chris said, this knucklehead, in my opinion, jokingly referencing Sebastian, would eat everything out of the jar, put it back in the cabinet, clean the spoon, go to bed, and the next morning you'd go find him and ask why he ate it, and he'd say, I didn't, with the chocolate all over his face. And Katie says, you can get a snack, but don't eat all the sugar in the world. Make a peanut butter and jelly with more jelly. Katie says Sebastian loves Swiss cheese, and at the store, he'd be, Mom, can I get some Swiss? But the baby Swiss and stinky Swiss, and he'd wave it in her face, laughing, teasing her, and he likes deli-cut ham, Virginia brand. Katie says he's not down for stalking and harassment. Oh, Katie said she's not down for stalking and harassment. Katie said she thinks letting him eat stupid cheese that stinks, that she doesn't like, but he does, is a valuable lesson that people aren't always going to like the same things. Shoot, shoot, shoot. But it's what he loves, so she supports it. She said she still has his cheese in her fridge. Okay. Now, if she has his cheese in her fridge a year after he's been disappeared, that cheese is not any good, because that cheese turns fuzzy, and that's gross. I'm sorry, I don't care for cheese. It's not my favorite thing. But I'm not going to down anybody that does like cheese. So, his favorite cereal is different every time they buy a box. Lucky Charms, Reese's cereal, the S'mores cereal, occasional Frosted Mini Wheats. He loves the Martinelli's apple juice in the glass bottle. Only glass because he's bougie like that. His favorite drink is milk. Katie and him had a water bar, and they'd make their own flavors. Katie and him had a water bar, and they'd make their own flavors. I don't know what that means. Flavors of water, I guess. Katie says Sebastian has sensory issues and can't stand carbonated drinks. They are a hard no. Katie says Sebastian likes hats, but he doesn't like wearing them. He likes shorts over pants, but once he gets used to wearing pants, when the weather changes, he will wear them, no problem. He'll wear sleep shorts when he's wearing shorts, in my opinion. He'll wear sleep shorts when he's wearing shorts. I'm the day and pants when he's wearing pants at night. He says he was pretty consistent. He'll wear sleep short when he's wearing shorts. I'm the day and in the day and pants when he's wearing pants at night. He said, that didn't make any sense. Okay, maybe you'll understand it. I'm sorry, I don't. Katie says Sebastian does better overall when he's on a regular routine, but after school, it's not a huge problem if they have to go to the grocery store. He's able to go run some errands and stuff like that. But they do try to keep him on a regular routine so he functions better because he doesn't really sleep very well. Downtime, quiet time, turning the screens off, decompression time. Katie says they have fidgets and at night and night lights for stimming because they can't make him do nothing. Katie said he'd like to have snow fights. Katie said for the most part, he liked being inside, the type of kid who'd rather be inside playing a video game instead of going outside playing football. She said he does like to read Minecraft books. They go to Barnes & Noble, and the only ones he shows genuine interest in are the Minecraft novels. Katie said Sebastian loves Starbucks and the cake pops. She said he likes all of them. The chocolate one, birthday cake one. The one cookies and creams one. And lastly, vanilla or strawberry. He'll pick the ones with the faces too. He likes the dragon fruit swirl and refresher. My son likes dragon fruit. I wonder what, he's not, to the best of my knowledge, on the spectrum or anything, but he's so addicted to dragon fruit. Have you ever priced one of them things? One little dragon fruit is over $6 and they don't even taste good. Ugh. Okay. I digress. I'm sorry. I love my son to death. Katie says it doesn't help if people can actually hear about Sebastian and not all the drama and BS happening. And she knows his favorite color and drink won't help find him, but it shows who he is. Katie says Sebastian is allergic to grass. Whenever the grass is pollinating, Chris says he's allergic to schoolwork chores. Jokingly, Katie adds wearing deodorant and they've been having issues with it. Okay, now I know that it sounds terrible and it sounds like Katie is dogging Sebastian for not wanting to wear deodorant. But I had my son, my youngest one right now, is 17. My oldest one is 40. I bought him deodorant when he was about 15 years old. But I never had to tell him to take a shower. I never had to tell him to put deodorant on. I never had to tell him to brush his teeth. It's something that he just did. He grew up doing it. And when he started needing deodorant, I bought him deodorant. I told him where it went. And personal hygiene was never a problem for my oldest son. But for CJ, my youngest, it's like a battle. Hi, Edward. I didn't know you were in the house. It's like a battle because I don't know what it is. Some kids don't mind wearing deodorant. Some kids won't. Some kids don't mind taking showers. Some kids won't. And my son, my youngest, would rather play his video games than to take a shower and put deodorant on. I'm sorry. And that's just a normal thing. So we've gotten to where in the evenings, sometime between school and bed, he has to shower every night. He's gotten to the point where he does that without there being an argument, and I'm really happy about that. He don't mind wearing deodorant anymore, and At 16, it was a huge battle over deodorant and stuff. At 17, he's a totally different person. He don't mind putting the deodorant on now. He doesn't mind taking his showers now. It's not now. Okay, he doesn't work on Sundays or Mondays, but he goes to school on Mondays. So he doesn't think he should have to shower on Saturday night because he doesn't work on Sunday. But he still has to shower on Saturday night and he has to shower on Sunday night. So, I mean, that's just my rule because I don't want a stinky boy. And teenage boys naturally, as they're coming into their hormones, they naturally have a different body odor than they did when they were younger, or than they will when they get older. There's something about being an adolescent that's just, I don't think Katie is putting him down at all. I think she's just talking about him being a teenage boy. Okay, so all those people on the BlueBird side that are saying that she's putting him down because he don't like to wear deodorant, she's talking about a normal 16-year-old boy. Okay, 15, 16-year-old boy. Okay. Katie says Sebastian, I'm sorry. I used to be able to just turn my head and look out the window. Now I can't, and I'm a nosy Pete. I gotta know what's going on out there. If I hear a noise, I gotta know what it is. But I'm not gonna get rid of my black curtain right here, or I will not be able to see y'all during the evening. Katie said Sebastian all of a sudden went through a growth spurt. His hair is getting darker. His voice is getting deeper. She thinks he's grown an inch in a month, and he went through 2 shoe sizes. That's why she knew all of his shoes were accounted for, because they just finished replacing them. Katie said she was not ready for puberty, but all of a sudden at all, and Sebastian isn't either. He wouldn't like the hair on his face. Katie said at the end of the day, everyone's opinion about them doesn't matter. All the rest be danged. It's about Sebastian and he needs to come home. Katie said at their house they did positive reinforcement with the video games, parental settings on always. Katie said she is struggling with stuff online. Katie says Sebastian talks a lot of smack when they play games. Sebastian plays chess. Last year in school, he was in the chess club. This year, no clubs. Something happened with one of the kids during chess, and the kid won, and they argued, and Sebastian didn't want to play anymore. And then he started failing a class and wouldn't want to play. Katie said he had a phase where Sebastian quit trying in school. It ebbs and flows how he does. Katie said Sebastian wanted to operate a crane like Dad. Katie said Sebastian wants to work with animals, but he'd only want to work with cats. Katie said Sebastian likes the playground and gun range. He prefers a pool to the beach. He likes fairs and festivals. Katie said he doesn't understand why people say she can't say her son's name, and it's not true. Katie says you can't argue with an idiot because they'll bring you down with them and beat you with their experience, is what someone told me. Sebastian loves the song Sebastian loves the song Uptown Funk by Bruno Mars and Sounds of Silence. Chris played the song My Ding-a-ling for him for humor, and Sebastian thought it was funny and would get others to sing with him. Chris says he was a Swiftie fan. Katie said she saw Sebastian on YouTube Googling, does Taylor Swift like blonde boys? And he got super embarrassed about it. Donna Howell talking for this young boy, Sebastian Rogers from Tennessee, has been missing almost 3 months and recently has turned into a circus of pointing fingers and dirty laundry, making profit off the young boy on YouTube channels. What a pity. Yes, I truly believe that there are honest people who truly care for him and others just looking for a distraction. But it is one big circus. Distraction. By it is one big circus. Clowns got stepdad bio mom in one corner and bio dad in the other corner, and the Facebook group in their own corner. Sadly, please, we have to close those doors and keep Sebastian Rogers' name in the positive. Everyone, I agree with that. Dirty laundry and no proof, and yes, pointing fingers at someone with a past history of whatever, it is none of our concern. I myself watch these YouTube channels. Some of them are just horrendous. We need to look in the mirror and see if we can truly say that we have no wrong. I am also a person with fault. We need to pray more for Sebastian Rogers that he come back safe. I agree with that. Maybe his parents have many faults in this boy missing or whatever happened to him on February 26, 2024. But they both, Katie and Seth, need to come together and figure out how they can work together without any other interference. If whoever has a no contact around children should not be allowed to be involved whatsoever for safety reasons. There are so many other missing children. Pray. Law enforcement liaison with Midwest.
I want to ask you specifically, because a lot of times you deal with the families and you talk to either the parent, mom, dad, or both. How frustrating is this for a search group like yourself when you have all these rumors and infighting going on and people trying to just get that interview or camera shot of people that are involved in this? How does that affect you as it pertains to law enforcement, Twyla?
It affects us big time because, for one, law enforcement don't want to trust us because of what's been before us. And then the families, I hold these families really close to my heart, treat them as if they're my family. And it gets to the point to where the family doesn't trust you. Like, they don't want to talk to you on the phone. They don't want to cry to you. Like, I want to be the missing person's family's shoulder to cry on when they need someone, and people that don't, that aren't qualified, that just want to go out here just for clicks, views, and drama, and this, that, and the other, they make it very hard for us to be trusted with what we do.
TBI.
It's straight through TBI. As a matter of fact, I just communicated with the TBI agent that we've been working with on Sebastian's case. I think maybe 2 days ago, I touched base with him and told him that we're ready to go back out and search for Sebastian whenever he's ready, and he let me know, we're good to go. He's going to keep me in the loop. He have not given up on Sebastian whatsoever. We can get a phone call any day telling us, hey, we need y'all to come over and assist with another search. They definitely have their hands full with all this craziness going on the internet. amount. So, but you better believe one thing: if they call and say, "Hey, we're ready to do another search, we need y'all to come in," we'd be there at all.
All right. So, what do you think about Miss Harmony? Do you think she's green team? Or do you think she's blue? I think she wants Sebastian found. And it seems like she cares about whether Sebastian's found or not. And she just wants to get the word out. I'm going to give her credit for right now as being green. Because I didn't see anything in the negative come from her. And usually the BlueBirds have negativity. So let's go with green. We'll give Ms. Harmony green for now. Because if you remember, in the beginning, JLR was green, and he's not green anymore. He flipped. Flip-flop, flip-flop. Nose. Okay. Now this one, this is, okay. The first one of this guy's video that I listened to, I was like, I think he's green. Then I listened to another video and I was like, no, I think he's blue. So I had to have a tiebreaker, and this video right here, in my opinion, told me which side this guy is truly on. I'm going to give credit to he only does a short, so it's like a 1 minute, 2 minute video, okay? This one here is 9 minutes, so, you know, there's just little short things. But let me get this up here. Some of y'all might know just by looking at the name, White Boy Lockdown Radio, what your opinion is, whether he's green or blue. But let's listen.
I really don't want to talk shit today, you know what I'm saying, being that it's Christmas, but look, I couldn't help but react to what I've been seeing on the YouTube streets. Listen, I've been off YouTube Christmas Eve, Christmas, being with my family and stuff, but I've been seeing a lot of videos, titles, community posts, this and that, from this green team, where they're like, you know, crucifying Chris Proudfoot for searching with another creator, a couple other creators, searching for Sebastian. There's all types of weird shit.
Okay. His sentence right there. 3 words. That's all I had to hear off this video was 3 words, and I figured out which side of the street he walks down. What happened? I don't know. I noticed that my screen was frozen. Okay, he says this green team. Okay, so Really?
There's a weird ass group on Twitter that I follow. It's called Find Sebastian Rogers, and they literally have like they're retweeting a Nick the Hat. It's like a Joker. It's a picture of Chris Proudfoot, and they turned him into the Joker. It's so weird. Like, just for a second, Green Team. Like, if we're gonna like compare Chris Proudfoot to Nick the Hat has like 50 convictions on his record versus like the one that you want Chris to have. It doesn't even equal out. It's crazy. But what's weird is like this dude and his wife, like, they cannot win on YouTube. They cannot win. Chris Proudfoot cannot win. If he's not searching for Sebastian, people will say, if I had a missing kid, this is...
Sorry, you've heard it. I'm going to pull it up. I'm sorry. Sorry, I forgot about...
What I would do, and this and that, and this and that, and God forbid when he does search, this is what happens. If he's quiet and he doesn't go on any panels or hit any news outlets or media outlets, he gets crucified. But when he does go, look what happens. Like, what is Chris Proudfoot supposed to do to, like, comfort your sensitivity, comfort your, you know, objection of him, perception of him? There is nothing that he can do that's going to comfort that, because you already hate the dude. It's crazy to me. You hate the dude on Jesus' birthday. Like, that's crazy. Like, you're projecting your hate.
Sorry, I had a gummy in my mouth. I do not hate Chris Proudfoot. I do not hate Katie Proudfoot. I do not hate anybody. I have an opinion. Everybody's entitled to have their own opinion. Everybody's entitled to speak their mind. I cannot come out here and say anybody's guilty of anything that I didn't see them do. I can say, I think they did something. I think they know the truth. They're the last person that was with him, so they know more than anybody else. But I'm not saying anybody's guilty. Apparently, somebody's guilty, but I don't know who that somebody is. I do have my speculations. I'm going to let him play a minute because my cat wants out.
On the dude searching for his missing child. Again, I'm not sure if this is like Christmas Eve, the day before that. I've been off for a few days. Unlike you haters that are hating on Chris, not my supporters. Like, what's the deal? Like, what is he supposed to do? And it reminds me so much of, like, the Wells and shit. Like, what are the Wells supposed to do? You people, it's funny. You know what's funny? Somebody shared to me, there's a Canadian, some weirdo Canadian YouTuber who's talking crap and, like, reviewing me, I guess, today, which is kind of like pimping sideways. If you can get somebody to like talk about you on Christmas, you're like winning on each and every way. But the dude's from Canada, and all they do is talk Donald Trump and conspiracy talk. Like, none of this is even in your country, right? But for the people who hate on Chris Proudfoot, like, y'all, a lot of y'all call yourself like patriots and voting for Trump and stuff. Like, that's not what patriotic American is. And I'm sorry if you're not American, so you get a pass if you're not from this country, like that weirdo, and any other weirdos that hate on the Proudfoots. But, like, in America, if you're patriotic, you believe in Lady Justice. Lady Justice is blind for a reason. She don't see color, innocent until proven guilty. That's Lady Justice. Like, how do you people, like on your, you haters, that you Wells haters, you Proudfoot haters, like, it's not a hard thing here. Like, neither one of them families have any evidence against them. You people have all these conspiracies, right? But none of the good conspiracies, just the weird ones on the families. You don't believe in anything like worth doing yourself, or starting a channel yourself, talking about using your free speech about, but you just hate on people who are grieving, and it's weird. But that's not being a patriot. That's not being like, that's nothing to do with being patriotic. That's being woke and weird. Not believing in the Constitution, not believing, right, in innocent until proven guilty, believing in these weird conspiracies. You know, for me, right, I don't care about Team Green and Team Seth and Team Proudfoots. I just take the stance over here, right? The massive tragedy pimps, the known tragedy pimps on YouTube, and y'all know the players that they are. They all do the same script, case after case, right? So you're probably never ever gonna see me backing like Bullhorn Betty, right? If there's a case that like Bullhorn Betty and Justice for Nobody, right, are both advocating for, I'm probably gonna take the opposite stance because they're both morons, right? It's just crazy to me that it's Christmas, and like, what do you want the family to do? Do you want them to search? Not search? What's okay with you? Should they not go on panel? Should it go on panel? What's okay with you? Can you please, in the comments, not the supporters, but the haters, can you please like write a list up so people can like make this make sense? Because you just sound like Karens. You sound like whining, complaining people who don't even have a purpose. Like, you don't even know what you're mad about. Like, is it menstrual cycle? Like, what is it? What is it? Can you make it make sense? Let the dude find, he's searching for his son. Who cares? Maybe, just maybe, that's the only time he publicly made a video about searching for the kid. Maybe he's been doing that all the time and you don't know about it because he doesn't make a video about it all the time. Maybe he was just searching for his kid with some creators. Has that ever, passed your brain? It's crazy to me. It's Christmas, dude. So I don't want to be too negative on here, man, but I couldn't not bite my tongue on this because I'm just scrolling the YouTube streets. I'm just chilling with the fam. Just got home. I'm like, let me make this video, dude, because it's so wrong. Like, man, it's Christmas, man. I'm not even gonna say like nothing negative about.
Hi, reality. So many went live at the same time, but I'd rather. Oh, thank you. Didn't Brittany go live? I thought Brittany was live earlier. But thank you. I appreciate you being here. What I'm trying to do is decide which team these people are on. And I determined that this white boy lockdown radio is definitely a Bluebird. I think I'm not really liking him. He's bashing people, but he's not actually coming right out and saying he's bashing them. But I'm done with him. And this lady, the salty lunatics, what kind of name is that? Okay, let me give her credit. Oh. Gotcha. I understand. What I'm doing is yesterday I found out, I was watching Mob Crew a couple of days ago, and he said, he pulled up this thing called Grok I don't know how to say it. And he typed in something about Chris Prophet, and it brought up this whole list of stuff. And so I thought, yesterday I thought I'm gonna type that in. I'm gonna say, what panels has Chris Prophet been on? And there were 292 different creators or things that popped up. I can show you, I think. Yeah. Okay. Let me. Right here. 292 different ones. Some of these I haven't even heard of. Black Hawk 57 Magnum. I think I've seen that one in Brittany's channel once or twice. Mystery Crimes. Shay's Safe Place. And I determined she's green. Lady Freedom Narratives. She's green. Jace for Justice. We know where she's at. She's BlueBird. Crime and Justice, I don't know about them. So this morning I started going through, and some of them, like Don B, he's green, obviously. JLR, he flipped. He was green, and then he flipped over to blue. And Simply Southern, she's green. But I've been going through this, and some of these I just don't know what side they are. But I was just listening to, oh Lord, that's insane. I know. And there's channels I've never even heard of. I never heard of Simply Southern. Who's Brandy Gray? Steph's Case Files. Now she's green. I like listening to her. Lolly, we know she's going to be green. Who's Lori Murray? We know who Spiley is. We know Spirit Seeker Squad. And a channel. Oh, what I saw today? Trigger warning. Chris Prophet rated R phone call rant. I haven't gotten that far yet. Because look. You scroll down. And there's more and more and more and more, and it don't stop. So I'm going through trying to determine who's green and who's red, or who's green and who's blue, because I don't know. Who's 9 Gen X? Have you ever heard of her? Oh, what I seen today? He's green? Okay, that's good. I'll put him on the green list. Okay. I'm going to stop sharing. And I'm going to... Salty Lunatics. I think I've determined that she's blue. I really do. Let's listen. I'm going to give credit to her. I don't know. I love Brittany to death, but lately some of her content, she's kind of sliding one way. I mean, she's still green, don't get me wrong, but she's sliding more away from true crime, more towards drama. But I love her. I'm not going to say anything bad about her. She's a wonderful person. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah. I forget what I'm doing. I turned my office sideways today while I was listening to these. Because I can't just sit in one spot. I have to be doing something. So let's give credit where credit is due. Okay. And this is, oh, I got to present screen. I don't know what it is. For some reason, I cannot hear my background music. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to uninstall and reinstall my StreamYard because I can't hear my background music. And it's just since I got these new monitors. I checked and everything's plugged in right. All right, so let's listen to this 1 minute 30 second short from Salty Lunatics and see which side of the street she walks down.
You know, I have a lot of opinions about the video that dropped last night, and I'm sure people are going to be coming over here wondering my thoughts, and I think a lot of people are going to...
Okay, first of all, if I hadn't heard of her, I don't know who everybody is, don't get me wrong, but she's not such a big name. I mean, the people in the circle I follow, I completely understand. I'm enjoying my leftovers from going to a 5 restaurant, almost $500. Oh gosh, I've never had that Persian food. Oh gosh. Wow. I had, and this is going to sound simple, I know, but I know I can't possibly get pregnant, but I have been craving bologna with lettuce and tomato and onion and mayonnaise and mustard sandwiches. I've been craving them. I tried going to Subway and getting a cold cut combo. Didn't cut the mayonnaise. So I just went and bought my daughter's male friend paper. Oh, wow. Was it part of your birthday? Wow. Okay, so I discovered I had a bologna sandwich. That's all I wanted. All I wanted was a bologna sandwich with lettuce and tomato and onion. And that's what I had for supper. Now, every year for Christmas, my husband, and he doesn't do it on purpose. It's not like he thinks I need something to keep me in the kitchen. It's just our first Christmas that we were married, I was cooking. We eat fried. I like fried bologna, or I used to like fried bologna. I made fried bologna the other day, and I just couldn't stand it. I don't know why. I don't know what's different about it. So I tried it a couple weeks later, and I just couldn't do it. So what I did was I fried a piece of bologna and I fried an egg, and then I took 2 pieces of bread and I made them like French toast, and I stacked the fried egg and fried bologna in the French toast batter, egg dipped bread, put it in the air fryer, and I cooked it and turned it over halfway through and put more egg over the top of it and cooked it, and that I could eat. That was good. Put syrup over the top of it. No, that was yummy. Anyway, where I was going with that was every year my husband buys me a different kitchen appliance. The first year we were together, I wanted to cook Christmas dinner for my dad and a lady friend of his because my mom had been passed away for 3 or 4 years. My dad had started dating, and I wanted to cook Christmas dinner. And I didn't have some of the pans I needed to cook dinner. So my husband went out and bought me a brand new set of pots and pans. And he says, I'm going to give you your Christmas present before Christmas. And I said, before Christmas? I said, it's not even Thanksgiving. He said, yeah, but you need this Christmas present. I said, okay, I guess. So he gave me the pots and pans set, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love you. Well, every year since then, I get a different different kitchen appliance. Sometimes it's a new baking pan that he can use in his smoker. Sometimes it's something simple like I needed pie plates, special deep dish pie plates to make cheesecakes in. because his daughter had requested a cheesecake. So I got Pioneer Woman pie plates at $17 a pie plate. This year he didn't even mean to do what he did, and he went out and he got something because he needed it for smoking. I said, look what you did. He said, what? I said, you got me another kitchen appliance for Christmas. Like, I didn't mean to. But anyway, I've just, in about 2019, I guess my husband and my son-in-law were thinking along the same lines, because they both got air fryers. I got a Ninja air fryer. My daughter-in-law got, I don't remember what she got. My stepdaughter got, it was a kind of an air fryer, but it was different from mine. And I love to make cheesecakes. The first time I made cheesecake for the family, my husband's side of the family, when we got back together and got married. Yeah, I found out the other day at Walmart they had air fryer meals. Let me show you. Oh, got my leg. Look at this. It's right in the freezer section, and it says air fryer garlic parmesan chicken. I'm trying that tomorrow. But I've had this air fryer since 2019, and it just sits over there and collects dust. I don't use it. Well, I got it out a couple weeks ago, and I've started using it, and now I'm addicted to it. So anyway, back to what I was saying. Since I found out I'm no longer diabetic, about a month and a half ago, I went from being 128 pounds to 150 pounds. So I need to go back to using the air fryer and get outside and work in the yard and ride my bike and do something, because I can't put on this weight like this. I weighed 250 pounds, and when I took that weight off, I said, I am not putting it back on, and now I'm back up to 150 pounds, and I'm like, oh no. So anyway, let's listen to the salty lunatic lady and see what she has to say.
Be in a lot of trouble, including Heather Cohen. And I question.
Oh yeah, I started to say, I don't know when this played, 11 months ago, so I don't know what the thing she was talking about was. But something happened just here recently. I know that feeling. I gained 15 pounds. I'm working it up. Something happened. I didn't see it. I thought Brittany was going to cover the thing that Chris Proudfoot had said about where he's trying to sue people for talking about Sebastian or something. I don't know what it was. I didn't hear it. I guess I was off in my own little world and I didn't hear it. So with the sun going down, it's like I don't have no light. I switched lights in my office, and this one just isn't cutting the mayonnaise. And it's sitting on top of my tower, so it don't sit right. Am I dark? Am I too dark? I could turn on the ring for this somehow. I don't know. Anyway, I'm here. So, I was saying something I forgot. I got to get my yard mowed. There's some kind of green grass. What is it? It's this green grass that's about this tall, and it takes over my whole flower bed, and it's stickery. It doesn't have stickers on it until later in the year, but it's stickery and it's like sticks together, and it's, you go like this and you can pull out the whole string of this. It's taken over my flowers. I got to strip out my flower beds and everything. So now that I'm going through all these YouTube things, I might have time to get out there and get my yard done, because everybody else's yard looks good and my yard looks like crap. So, and it's because I am so picky about the way my yard gets mowed that I won't let my son do it. He's 17, he could do it, but he's got this, I tease him, I say he's afraid of trees. He's afraid of the edge of the yard. He mows, but he's like 5 feet away from the tree, 5 feet away from a plant, 5 feet away from the sidewalk. He's afraid he's going to hurt the lawnmower or something. I don't know what it is. So he only mows the middle of the yard, and then I have to go back and redo it. So, but you know, it is what it is. I like to mow. I get good exercise that way, and we've got an acre of land. And he says, but the grass don't grow in the backyard. I looked out in my backyard and I need to mow my backyard, so I got to go pick up all the sticks that the wind just recently blown down. Oh, yeah. Well, you're in the east, so yours would come before ours, because I'm central. I don't know. I guess it's just the climate. Yeah. See, with my blood pressure dropping like it does, my front yard is very small. And if I mow the backyard or weed eat the backyard, and then I come out and start to do the front yard, I can't get halfway through the front yard because I can't breathe, and I'm getting dizzy, and I'm getting weak. And so I'll do one day and one the next day, and because my blood pressure just drops too low. And that's why my doctor grounded me last August from my bicycle, is because I was riding my bike and my blood pressure dropped too low, and I passed out on the one of the main roads in town, and I ended up having to walk my bike 6 miles home. So it is a pain. It is a pain. But when I was younger, in my 20s and 30s, we had a 5 acres, and I loved mowing. I couldn't mow all of it. We only had 2 acres of it cleared, and we left 3 acres to go deer hunting and stuff in, because we lived out in the woods. But I loved to mow. And if my kids come home from school, and my son, who's now 40, if he saw me mowing, he's like, Mom, what? What'd I do wrong? I didn't say you did anything wrong. Why are you mowing? He always thought if I was mowing, he was in trouble. No, sometimes I just mowed because I I can think when I'm mowing. I don't know. I can think. Okay, let's see what Salty Lunatic has to say.
For Heather Cohen, why didn't you take this information straight to TBI, straight to Bobby Simmons, if you really thought that your life was in danger and that Christopher Proudfoot was threatening your life? You see, Heather Cohen knew damn well her life was not being threatened in that phone call. She knew that the only thing that he was threatening was to get Bobby Simmons involved. And she don't want Bobby Simmons involved. You see, we heard that on the Web Sleuth video when he mentioned, again,
She's
Bobby
green.
Simmons, and everyone was like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't get Bobby involved. Yeah. Bobby Simmons from TBI ain't on Seth's page, ain't on the same page as the PIs. And now they're dropping this video trying to make it look like Chris is threatening people's lives when the only thing he threatened was to get Bobby Simmons involved. And I think Bobby Simmons is about to get involved now. And those YouTubers, the PIs, they're about to be in big trouble for harassment. Mark my words. Harassment, defamation. I see a slew of trouble. A slew of trouble And that ain't no threat. That's me. That's my opinion, and I'm probably right. We'll see.
Okay, that was 11 months ago, and I never seen. Who's Bobby Simmons? I never seen anything come of whatever she's talking about here. Now, the last one I have gotten to, because I'll show you from right here, all of these I looked through this morning. And then over here, all of these I looked through. And I haven't gotten through half of the list. I'm only like a third of the way through, maybe a quarter of the way through. But this one, take her off. I could probably just name these people off and you probably know exactly whether they're green or blue, but I don't, because some of them I've never heard of. Bobby's lead investigator. Oh, is he the one that the only job he has currently at this point is Sebastian Rogers? Is he the one at Sumner County that, I don't know. Okay. I can't spell. I've never heard of this person either until today. Okay, credit for this one goes to allegedly speculating. I don't know if he's green or blue, but we'll give him a listen. I only listened this far in.
Katie. Katie is very intelligent. She was in the Navy, communication.
Okay, I guess it's a she. Sorry.
Systems and things like that, as computers, the things to that nature. And I think she's very intelligent, and I think that she is very intelligent to stay quiet, because at the end of the day, it does not matter what you say. You could walk outside. Her, Chris, and Seth, all three of them could walk outside right now and say, the sky is blue. It's a beautiful day and it's a bit chilly. And people would pick it apart and say that it's code for some kind of Sebastian thing, or that he is lying and it was actually hot that day and it was cloudy, and why did he lie, and what is he doing, and all of the things. Just
she's green.
Outside and said it's to be.
She just disappeared.
Beautiful day. These people are tearing these parents up. I want to be careful, because yes, we should speculate. Yes, we should investigate and look down every single avenue that there could possibly be that could possibly lead us to Sebastian. But we don't have to treat the parents like shit in order to do that.
She has a good
it's just
point.
Not necessary. We may not agree with the way they do things, okay? You're not going to agree with the way your neighbor does shit. Hell, you probably don't even agree with the way grandma or your mama does things, okay? We all have a different feeling of how children should be punished, how schools should be handled, how separation and divorces and custody battles and things like that should go down, okay? That's why we all grow up, we become adults, and we get our own house, okay? I've got children that live in my house, and you know what I tell them? As long as you live under my roof, you will abide by my rules. If you feel like you can't do that, then what?
My 17-year-old I just now got a message that said Brittany's going to be alive today for a day stream. My messages come through like 20 hours after they happen. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. My 17-year-old, he is on the verge of not knowing what side of the fence he wants to be on. And I'm not talking green team or blue team. I'm talking, he doesn't know if he wants to be gay or straight or what. And he wants to dress like a girl. Exactly, reality. You are exactly right. I'm going to drop this off because we know where she stands. But my son doesn't know whether he wants to be gay or straight or what, or transgender or whatever. I don't know. He wants to wear girl clothes, and he says he wants to be gay. So I don't know. I really don't know. But I told him a couple of years ago, I said, I'll make a deal with you. This was before my father-in-law passed away, because my father-in-law just could not deal with the fact that his grandson was gay. And so I told my son, I said, I'll make a deal with you. I said, if you'll try to act like a boy, date girls, try being a boy, not try cross-dressing, not try being gay or anything like that, until you graduate high school and you're able to move out on your own, I will quit smoking. I quit smoking September 1st of 2023. My son is back to wearing girl clothes to school, because I won't take him shopping with me and he's dressed in girl clothes. But I mean, I tell him baby steps, because he feels like I am singling him out and I am, chastising him for being different. And somebody told me that I was putting a wedge between him and myself. And I don't want there to be a wedge, so I'm having to take baby steps into allowing him to be who he is. That's exactly, I have to, but maybe counseling. See, I started taking him to counseling because he has had issues over the years. When he was younger, a lot of things happened to him before he was in my custody. And because I inherited him. And I started taking him to counseling. Thank you. But his counselor told me that I was a bad parent because I would not agree to let him be him. And that there's nothing wrong with him deciding, because his counselor says he's too young right now to know exactly what he wants in his future. So I just need to let him be him and let him do him. And I'm the bad parent for wanting to make sure he goes to bed at the right time at night. I should rely on self-consequence. Like if he wants to stay up all night playing his video game and not go to bed, then he's the one that his grades are going to suffer in school. And I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I don't agree with that. I have rules in my home, and the rules are you go to bed at bedtime. You don't get no more video games. You don't get no more telephone. It's time to go to bed. It's time to go to sleep. You got to get up in the morning and go to school. And she said, I'm a bad parent for that. And I said, well, my son will not be back to your office. So, And I asked the lady, I said, do you have children? No, I don't have children yet. And I'm like, yeah. Wait till you have kids. Your whole perspective on life is going to change when they become teenagers. Trust me. But anyway, I have been on here for 2 hours. And I didn't mean to be. So I'm going to get off here. And I'm going to go find something to do. Hopefully Brittany will go on doing true crime tonight. I'd like to know what the Chris Proudfoot, but I don't even know where to go look for the information for where Chris is talking about suing people for wanting to use Sebastian's name on their. Now, I can no. Their therapists are never to say that to. I know. See, that's what I thought. But I don't know where to go look. I don't know who covered this. I guess I'd have to go watch Queen Bee to find out what Chris actually said about suing people for wanting to use Sebastian's name. Now my channel is monetized, but I don't make money off my channel. My channel has not brought in a single penny. And I only have 675 subscribers. So, I mean, I'm monetized, but I don't make money off Sebastian. I can say that 100%, or anybody else. Yeah, I don't know the whole story, so I can't talk on it until I can find proof about it. But I've heard it in these YouTube streets. So I'm going to have to do some research. My arm is itching where my dog scratched me. And I don't even have that dog anymore. But I have to cut a cord over him. So anyway, I'm going to get off here. And I'm going to go find something else to do. Maybe I'll go get some hair color and get all this brassiness out of my hair. Because I was trying to go platinum and it turned this color. But I'm almost 60. I should have gray hair. And I don't have gray hair. So I have wrinkles, but I don't have gray hair. So anyway, so I'm going to end it here. Thank you for being here. I love talking to you, reality. Do something nice for someone, even if it's just make them smile, because you make me smile and get lockered. Good night.